People like seeing.
Get in position.
Maybe people like watching the sound check.
Yeah.
I know. I love watching sound check.
I'm going down early for sound check.
I'm gonna go tune in.
I'm just going down.
Can you guys throw it up on your phone?
I've been here since sound check.
Did you post already?
Yeah, it's going now. Hey, Derek Jones. Oh wait, too close. There we go. Pa pa pa, ka ka ka, sa sa sa, ta ta ta.
Keep talking.
Ka pa ta ta ka pa ka ta ka pa ka pa ka pa ka ta ka ta ta. I pledge allegiance to Capcom because they're my favorite company in the whole world. And Street Fighter V is super dope, and Armika is amazing.
Okay, you're good. Joel.
Heyo, all you crazy maniacs! Welcome once again to End User Disagreements, where we fuck shit up. We fuck it up left and right. We might know our shit, but we really don't. But your argument is invalid.
Alright, you're good. Russell. Hi, Papa and Mimi. Never mind the cursing, the swears. Oh.
Keep going.
Lost. Check.
Keep
Cursing
talking.
and swears, popping and cursing and swears.
Alright.
Swears and curses.
Alright, we're all good, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready to roll?
Yeah, we got a short one today too.
Alright, ready? 5, 4, 3.
Welcome to End User Disagreements. This is number 25. That's 2 dozen and an extra donut. This is coming to you from Studio 212, Soundcasting Network in South Lake Union, Seattle. Today we are brought to you by Tisdale Merlot. Thank you, Tisdale.
Is that how you pronounce it? I always pronounce it Merlot.
Or Merlot. And it's Tisdale.
I am not drinking Marlowe.
I am not drinking Merlot. This is the video game podcast where your argument is
Invalid.
you have Loud and Brown right here, and to my left.
You have just the tip.
And to his left, you have.
You have the Saberings.
And almost as importantly, we got extreme super ultra producer Bobby Stills. Shabba Ranks. I don't know why Shabba Ranks is your theme song, but it is. And man, welcome. We are well and thick into October.
How thick?
So thick. A lot of girth.
We got pretty great October so far.
Do I even want to tag my people in this right now?
Yeah.
Might as well just call this Cocktober.
Tag them on.
I was about to say, it's like there's been no cussing yet, but never mind.
Yeah, just wait for the tip.
Yeah, wait for the tip. Hey, he was talking about roosters.
Heyo.
Right?
Yeah. Roosters.
Those are boy chickens.
Boy chickens. Holla at your boy, chickens. Right?
So,
Right.
video games.
Sure. Why not?
We're going to start off and get my topic out of the way. Maniacs at home. We got Street Fighter. Hot off the presses. We had this weird little tournament called the... Oh, jeez. It was... See, there was like a European gaming
What had happened?
tournament. What had happened. And that one was won by Zhao Hai against Haitani. That was SoCal. And that was Zhao Hai, Haitani, K-Brad, and Mago. Cammy's God tier. Street Fighter V, if you need to pick it up, just pick up Cammy, you'll win. But the big news is the European finals was at Daigo won. And I don't even know who Phenom is. But Phenom got second, and then you have Bonchan and still a daddy.
So wait, where was this tournament held at?
This one was in Milan.
Milan.
Oh,
Ooh, fancy.
so fancy. And so it stands. Capcom, if you guys need to know, I'm talking about Capcom. I'm talking about Street Fighter V, the game that makes Capcom makes that game. And they are stepping things up.
You were right. You were right the first time right there.
Yeah, Street Fighter makes Capcom.
Yeah, these days.
But what's going on now is like with League and Counter-Strike and Dota and all these huge tournaments, all this money, fighting games finally stepped it up. Did a collaboration with Red Bull and PlayStation, and they have this Capcom Cup where the winner gets actual money, like 6 figures. That's not counting the sponsors. I realize that all my MOBA players are like, friends are laughing at me right now because 500K doesn't mean anything to someone that just won, League of Legends Worlds where the grand prize was, what, 8 million?
But you also have to take into consideration those are team games, so you're splitting that pot with everyone else.
That's still over $1 million a person. True, that's
yeah.
nuts. And that's a tournament. And from what a buddy told me is, if you don't make top 8 in a tournament, you're losing money because in those games, a lot of those guys make so much money running their stream that leaving for 4 days to run a tournament with a team that you got picked up at, because you can't stream when you're on like professional team, you're like off stream. So that team is your only source of income. I was not aware of this.
How were you not aware of this?
Math.
Buses getting thrown under them. Anyway, with Street Fighter, I'm excited about it because I'm big into it. I play Armika. One of my favorite players uses Armika. And he's still in the standings. So as it stands, the Capcom Tournament League standings are Infiltration up top, Korea, Tokido, Japan, Jaewong, America.
America? Wait, we're
America!
sitting in the top 3?
Yeah, man, how? I'm going to double check these. These are from Capcom Fighters. This is like their website. And then we have Fudo, Gamerby, and Zhao Hai. And these are the top players for Street Fighter. Because it's a points thing. You can get completely bodied in a tournament, but you know, out of 10 tournaments a year, if you place in top 8 out of half of them, you're in good running. Like, it's like a league, you know? So that makes it way more interesting, because fighting games for the longest time are like, oh, it's the set tournament and it doesn't bleed over to anything. You're on a point system.
Nice.
And this is leading to a bigger subject. We are in Seattle. I'm an avid gamer. They also play games.
Somewhat, sometimes.
Somewhat, yeah. They
Yes.
know about games more than anything. But we are getting the North American Regional Tournament for Street Fighter in Seattle. It's at Seattle Center from November 4th to the 6th. I'll be there. I'll be rooting. I'll have my coffee cup.
Wait, regional tournament, so like what regions is that covering?
North America.
Yeah.
All of North America.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like it's a big tournament. We're talking New York, Cali,
You have to wear
Canada.
you gotta wear your bandana though. You gotta wear the USA.
USA. Well, yeah, Canada's going to be in there trying to front on us.
Yeah.
Canada's got some good players. I don't know if they have any top 20 players anymore. We used to have Air, who was like the best Ryu in America. Like, he was like untouchable. He was so good. And there are a couple other cats that trained with Air. And there's some guys over in Toronto for Street Fighter 4 also. But right now, I don't even know what Canada's up to. They're probably all better than me. That's all you need to know. Even though I am so sweet.
You're selling yourself short.
I know. I'll post some videos on our Facebook group at End User Disagreements. And I'll show you, like, when I'm really confident online and drinking, I do some horrendous stuff. The character I use has a move where you can taunt and drop a mic on somebody, but it does, like, 5 damage. Like, it does a little bit of damage, so if someone's, like, living on a pixel, I'll just be like, ah! And it'll hit him feet.
I have a feeling that you're the Leicester City or whatever.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, you're
If
like-
I won any of these tournaments, people would be like, why did Gross Def
There
win?
you go.
By the way, I
Yeah,
go
that's
by
insane.
Loud and Brown on most social media, but when I play competitive fighting games and my new handle on Twitch, I go by Gross Def.
If I'm not reading about you in Kotaku in a month, then you wasted your time. You need to do something.
You're not going to read about me.
Yeah,
These guys have,
really?
this is
On
their
Kotaku?
full-time job.
I still have like the most mainstream
You
though.
just have to go ahead and pick a Gawker network.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that being said, the only person I know that's a video game website famous would be Becky Watts. She made the front page of IGN when they were talking about cosplayers at San Diego Comic-Con, and all of a sudden I see a picture of her as Danny Stormborn, and I was like, I know that girl, that's Becky. That's Gigawatts, the cosplayer. She made the front page of IGN. That's like geek royalty, right? You know? I can't think of a bigger video game website.
No, the Internet Gaming Network is probably the largest one. It's
Yeah.
the most recognized one.
Yeah, that's
By
big
default,
news.
Yeah.
And she got like all these likes after that. But that's Street Fighter. Come and play. Friend me on PlayStation Network. I will destroy you, or I will turn on a mic and yell at you and say that your mom's cooking is terrible. Ooh, sick burn.
Oh, man.
And that'll be it for Street Fighter. I don't want to talk about it too much because we know what happens when I talk about Street Fighter too long.
It keeps going and
Yeah.
going.
This is Street Fighter disagreements when that happens.
So you short-haired lads next to me, one of you bring up the next topic.
Why you gotta bring up her?
What? I have an afro.
Why you gotta bring up her male pattern baldness?
I didn't even say male pattern. The SoundCloud fans don't know that. Just the
I'm
just
letting
the
him in.
Facebook
I'm
people.
letting him in.
You're letting them all in?
Yeah.
Hey, SoundCloud, 1 afro and 2 Jason Statham's,
Correct. Yes.
like stylishly.
So-
Okay.
So yes, we went over the Street Fighter like regionals and all of that. I guess next up is Capcom and Square had a little spoiler they ended up bringing about. So yeah, do you want to go ahead and like bring anything into this V-Dash?
Well, basically today Rockstar kind of gave us a little teaser of what appears to be Red Dead Redemption, and by showing us a little teaser, they kind of revealed they were working on possibly one of the worst kept secrets in all of video games. Everybody knew they were working on Red Dead Redemption. It was really cool to see that they kind of confirmed that's what they're working on, but everybody knew eventually at some point.
Well, I mean, has it officially been confirmed, or are we just looking at like a teaser to go ahead and suggest that Red Dead Redemption?
They
2
tweeted that out on their official Twitter.
Okay.
But it matches the cover art from the original Red Dead Redemption
Mhm.
on 360.
Okay, so that's what we're hoping for.
Oh,
Is
wait.
that it's a sequel versus a remake that's
Hold up.
specifically made for newer consoles.
Hold up. For some of our novice maniacs at home, can someone explain the very short history of Red Dead Redemption?
Well,
Like,
basically,
what is it?
It became as it started off as Red Dead Revolver, correct? It was
Yes.
The Capcom property.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
was a
Originally.
Capcom property.
Yes, but then they ended up selling it off.
They Capcomed.
Yeah.
They didn't have the money to put out the game.
Yeah, much like Marvel sold off the rights to Spider-Man to Sony or something like this. They kind of sold that license off, but they sold it off wholesale, right? Like the whole thing, the whole IP.
Yeah, the entire IP was sold.
Yeah. So Rockstar took that and ran with it and kind of created their own game from the ground up, using that game as a template, and that became Red Dead Redemption, which more or less is Grand Theft Auto with horses. To really simplify it,
Grand Theft Horses.
yes. Open world cowboy game,
Wait, so that would be GTE, Grand Theft Equestrian?
something like that.
Wow, that was quite the stretch.
That's too fancy. They're just Wild West horses.
So GTH.
Something like that. So yeah, that was pretty much it. It came out, smash success, game of the year.
Smash it.
Yeah, PlayStation 3 from the last generation, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Never was a PC version, and right now the only legit way to actually officially play it is to play it via backwards compatibility on the Xbox One, meaning you have to go out and buy an actual physical disc, which sold out and became like bestsellers on Amazon. We spoke about that on an earlier podcast, I think.
Yeah, a couple
yeah.
weeks ago.
And so those games became a instant bestseller again after that was announced for backwards compatibility. And right now that's the only legit way to play it. Which, leading into the next subject, which you kind of touched on, is it going to be a true sequel? If this in fact is what it turns out to be, is this going to be a true signal or a remake or / remaster? And I'm thinking it might be a remaster. Starting.
What? No, man. They can't put it to. If they gave it like Red Dead Reinvention or Red Dead Rejuvenation or Red Dead Renaissance, I'd be like, oh, this sounds like just kind of a remake. It's called 2. That's a hard number. That's a sequel.
Yeah. I don't know. The only reason why I think it may be this is because people would, because right now the only way to play it is that original version on an Xbox in backwards compatibility mode. I don't know. It seems like from a business standpoint, it would make sense for them to like remaster it, release it, and then in 2 years give us like a brand new one.
So that being said, something happened with a little company that I talk about sometimes.
A little company.
Yeah, it's called Capcom.
Oh,
So there was a bunch of internet buzz about Darkstalkers and how much everybody wanted a sequel.
Mhm.
So Capcom was like, all right, we're not a huge company. We're pretty big, but we're going to put a feeler out there. We're going to revamp and make a whole new online fighting mode and put out Darkstalkers online. And everybody was like, wait, are you serious? Like, yeah. And here's the game you wanted. We added all 3 games within the game. Training mode, ranked matches, and it was dope. It was so good, and a handful of people bought it, and Capcom was like, you didn't want a new one. You guys would have eaten this up. And then so the same thing's happening right now with Capcom versus SNK. So maniacs out there, SNK, I just talked about how Capcom makes Street Fighter, and they made one of the spoof companies, Dead Rising, and they made Resident Evil, right?
Mhm.
SNK made Arrow Fighters, Metal Slug, King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting,
Magician Lord.
Bad dudes.
Bad Dudes. Oh, was that SNK?
Yes.
They did.
Karnov.
A,
No, Karnov did it East.
No, Karnov was. Oh, who bought that? Tecmo ended up buying it, but yeah, I think it was.
What about Windjammers, son? That was SNK,
Windjammers.
right? Anyway, SNK and Capcom made a versus game, and it was like it was the first of its kind. People were like, these are two competing companies. Why would they make a game together? And it was so popular. So popular. And people want a third one. And I think we're finally going to get it. But it doesn't exist in any way, shape, or form, the previous versions. Because I think they're waiting. And they're also kind of really milking Street Fighter V because it's not huge yet. Same thing for PlayStation 4 with Tekken. There was no way to play Tekken 3, Tag, or anything on a PlayStation 4 at all. So you have to wait for Tekken 7 that's coming out this spring. I think they're like trying to build a hype machine. So Red Dead Redemption, they might wait for this new game to drop because they want all those brand new $60 purchases. And then people that want an extended experience be like, hey, 3 months later, we put out the original Red Dead Redemption.
That's true.
Out for digital download for 10.
They could probably get away charging 30 for
See,
it.
that's
Especially,
30?
especially if it came with all the DLC and it was truly remastered, you get away with.
Well, I
30
mean,
for
at the same time, we've seen other companies do this before, where they have a new version of the IP coming out, and they will include the original game as a packet or as an incentive for people to buy it within like the first
that
couple
could very
months.
well be it too. Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah.
Maybe Red Dead Redemption 2 will be like BioShock 2, or it's not a full sequel. You know what I mean? Did you guys play BioShock?
I started off and on, and same with the second one too. I never played Infinite though.
Yeah. So BioShock 2, you're expecting this brand new experience, same setting, and you, spoilers, you play as the main villain that's on the cover of the first box art. You play as a Big Daddy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, but you're in the same setting, and it's kind of like little, it's basically a whole game of Easter eggs.
It's kind of like Blue Shift with Half-Life. You got to play that game from the perspective of the security guards you kept running into.
Cute.
It was the same game, but it was from a different perspective.
So it's like what was that Resident Evil 4 mini game? The little missions you could do,
the
Mercenaries.
Yeah, Mercenaries.
Yeah, like you're in the settings and it has the same physics of the game, but it's like a different game.
Yep.
So maybe Red Dead Redemption 2 will be like.
But in all fairness, since you brought up BioShock, that just did get remastered as well.
Yeah.
Like those just came out like 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
they did, and so did. We were just talking about it. Skyrim got remastered, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be out like next week, I think, or the week.
It looks
after.
good.
Mhm.
Looks way. Wait, I just finished watching the show. Can you name it? Pretty good. It's Kirby Enthusiasm.
Sorry.
Did I just
I'm a little behind on that.
did I just show how lame I am?
No. You didn't show how lame
Did I-
you were.
You kind of showed how lame I am because I haven't finished that show.
Oh, okay. I thought my Oreo was showing.
Yeah, the White Center is showing.
All right. Well, so with this, with Red Dead Redemption, we have these spoofs, right? And I'm trying to think of other games that, like, where people would spoof other games. Like, I don't know if that existed anywhere in the universe. Where they're like, oh, this thing comes out. Hey, we can do this too, jerkface.
I know there's like some obvious ones we're not thinking of, especially in like advertising for the games. A lot of games
Well,
spoof other games.
As far as, like, fighting games, because that's where I live.
I would
Art
say,
of Fighting, huh?
I would say after like Street Fighter 2, almost any fighting game that came out afterwards was pretty much a spoof of that. I mean, even World Heroes, you can go ahead and break down.
What you got?
That was
Did
from
you guys
SFV.
talk about that new ad for the Gears of War?
Oh,
In
wait.
space,
Wait.
You know,
I didn't see
Call of
it.
Duty?
I mean, Call of Duty? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Shit's ill.
Thank you.
Bob.
Thank you for that input.
And if you guys didn't need go ahead.
Well, I don't think none of you guys play first-person shooters, do you?
I
yeah,
do sometimes. I'll be honest. Call of Duty left a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah. That being said, I always tell people that I don't like COD, and I always flame on Activision. And then this is over a year, maybe 2 years ago. Someone came over to my house and wanted to play some like Black Ops 2, and they were like, "Derek, do you have You have 3 golden guns?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" I thought you said you hated this game. I'm like, "I do." They're like, "You can't accidentally get golden guns. Those are really hard to acquire. You have to like run like 20 matches without a sight on, and then you got to do like another thing with like no perks. You got to get like 10 kills with no perks in a game. Like there are these crazy things." I'm like, I don't know. It told me to do it. Like, Derek, you played that game. That game got you good.
So you
But
just
anyway.
do what the game tells you, kind of like, spoiler alert, like for BioShock. It's like, oh, I'm just doing this because someone was telling me to do it.
I was just
It's
trying
not
to get the
necessarily the best thing.
achievement.
But so this is COD that's gonna be in space.
Yeah, the newer
Yes.
one.
Yeah. So,
Infinite Warfare. But everybody's buying it for the Call of Duty 4 remaster.
So,
Another remaster.
Moonraker.
Call of Duty 4 was actually tight though.
Yeah.
It's
It was the
Moonraker.
only one I actually liked. That and 2.
The original. Yeah. those
Modern
first two,
Warfare.
yeah.
Hey, Modern Warfare 2 is great. That's
Well, yeah, it was good, but I don't know. Like for
that
me,
was
it was
the one with Ghost.
right. But I'm talking about like the initial shock. Like once we went from Call of Duty 3 to Modern Warfare, it was just a completely different playing field.
It was. It was like, oh, you guys are doing COD, but not. I mean, you guys are doing Counter Strike, but weird. That's what Modern Warfare looked like. You're like, hey, this looks a lot like Counter Strike, except it's really easy. You talk to. Have you ever had the misfortune to play a Counter Strike person in COD? It makes you feel like you don't know how to play the game. They only hit headshot clusters, and you're like, how am I supposed to beat these guys? And they're like, play a real shooter, and Call of Duty is easy mode. That's shout out to Andrew Von Shady. We used to go to AFK Tavern over in Everett. He would just body us. Bobby, true story about this guy. We were playing a 5v5, right? Is that first to 50 or first to 100? First to 50. And he's drinking, and we just see his score going up. And all of a sudden, mid-match, he gets up. He's like, later, chumps. And we're like, where are you going, man? It's 4v5 now. And he's like, if you guys can't finish this up without me, you ain't good. And we looked at his score, and he had like 27 kills to himself. And we were like, good God. And I'm like, do you own this game? He's like, no, this is easy mode. And I was like, it's terrifying. 27 kills on a team of 5? That's more. His goal was to do more than half. And he's like, you guys should be able to win it without me. And he went and ordered a drink. And I believe he drank cactars. Because this is a bar where you can order a cactar or a Pangalactic Gargle Blaster.
Wait, which bar was this?
AFK Tavern in Everett. Shout out.
Hey.
Hey.
Future sponsor, maybe?
Okay. Oh, let's get with the spoofs, though. Any more spoofs? That's all I had, was that one.
Yeah.
Nah, they're around.
Yeah.
Hey, hit us up on
Shout out.
Facebook. We'll find more spoofs. And if you guys are just tuning in for some odd reason, this is End User Disagreements. This is the video game podcast where your argument is
Appreciate it.
And invalid.
appreciated and invalid.
Completely.
We're still in Seattle. The studio has not moved. Not yet. We survived Windstorm 2016.
Windstorm 2016.
We will rebuild. We will survive. We will persevere.
Pray for Seattle.
Pray for some. Oh. Truth. It's brutal, man. Hey, real talk though.
It's
North
rough.
Capitol Hill, we had a transformer go out.
Mm.
This scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, I had a couple of leaves fall off the trees in my yard.
Oh no, not the leaves.
I know, right?
I
It's not this
swear,
fall
I
or
swear I
anything.
saw a squirrel running for cover. I swear.
All right, on to the next subject. And this is gonna final one. We're gonna do a quickie. I'm gonna give you a quickie today, guys. We're gonna talk about something that I had no idea happened because I bought a. If you listen to pre-episode 10, go back and listen to our backlog. And we were talking about the console war. I had a 360 and a 7-year-old laptop, and I wanted to play more games. And these guys over here were trying to talk me into the PC world, and I was thinking real hard about getting a PS4, or I was also kind of thinking about getting a new laptop and partitioning it, or just playing Steam games on my Mac, even though that's not really a thing, but you can do it.
Yeah. It's more of a thing now.
And what got me was, the argument was Kingdom Hearts 3. The only system that is 100% guaranteed to have that game is the PlayStation 4. They have not even announced other systems that might have it. So I went and bought that. I got it used at Pink Gorilla. Holler at Pink Gorilla in U District. Thank you. I got it used. So I have a PlayStation 4. I bought that system. But for the first time since both systems have been out, all the consoles have been out. Sorry, Wii U. I totally forgot about you. Womp womp. We have exciting news about the Xbox One.
So yeah, the sales figures came in for the console races for this month of September, and it appears for the third month in a row, the Xbox One outsold the PS4. There's lots of different theories on exactly why the Xbox One outsold the PS4, and I guess we can go ahead and talk about those. But yeah, this is pretty much unheard of. It's the first time in this generation that Microsoft has been consecutively for 3 months ahead of Sony.
Yeah,
So,
they've been playing catch up since that. What was it? Was it E3 2013 announcement where
they were trying to go all digital. They didn't even want to have a
people
disk
were
drive.
people were rolling their eyes at it, and then the PS4 announcement was incredible.
With a bunch of little daggers, like ours is $100 less, and you can trade games with your friends. It was a bunch of daggers.
And we support local indie games, and we. Oh geez, there were so many reasons.
Oh, you didn't have to connect to the internet once every 7 days or something
Yeah.
like that just to go ahead and play your games.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 just knocked it out of the park, and then
Yeah.
Xbox has been playing catch up since that, right?
Pretty much, yeah. They pretty much got blown out.
And then now 3 months, and
Well,
one of the
3
reasons
consecutive months, yeah.
3 consecutive months, and so I'm going to start off with point number 1, where I can understand is that I just found out about this. I had no idea about this. It is the cheapest 4K player available, and this happened before with
The PlayStation 2.
was the cheapest DVD player
Mm-hmm.
at
Yeah.
the time. So people just
People,
It was the
people
same-
who didn't even play video games.
It was the same thing with the PlayStation 3. It was the cheapest Blu-ray
Blu-ray
player
player,
when
yep.
it was first got released.
True.
so there's no new format right now, but we have 4K. There's a new.
Well, technically, it's still Blu-ray, but it's UHD Bluray. It's like the ultra high definition. 4K.
Acronyms, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm. And this is only available on the Xbox One S. So older models of the Xbox One wouldn't be able to support 4K Blu-rays, but you get that with the new S model and Scorpio that's set to release for next year.
So I'm going to go down and say this, loud and brown, throwing this out. When that Pro hits, PlayStation's taking it back, dude. No doubt in my mind. This holiday season is going to be Sony all over. So kudos on Xbox, but unless they go crossplay for some reason, and unless their game plan with Windows games and
The
Xbox
Universal
games,
Windows platform or whatever it is.
yeah, unless that really takes off and more people know about it, because they don't even advertise it. I should be seeing an ad for that every time I watch a Hulu video. That's big news. That when you buy a game for your PC, you get a free version for your Xbox One. That's a crazy initiative, incentive.
Yeah, as
Mhm.
well as crossplay between the two, so you can play
Like,
Gears of War with your
How,
friends
like
on Xbox.
I tell people about that, and they're like, "Oh, are you for real?" I'm like, "Oh my god!"
I don't know, but there's still the question that's looming on whether or not you have to have like an Xbox Live Gold account, and whether or not you can be signed on 2 different devices at the same time. That still has yet to be answered, because I remember when the Games for Windows Live fiasco ended up
Ooh, you're
happening.
bringing that up.
Yeah,
Sick.
You're
when
supposed,
I
to
bring that
forget,
up.
you're supposed to forget.
It's like,
about
oh,
that.
I want to go ahead and watch Netflix on the Xbox One, but I want to play the game from Game for Windows Live on my PC, but you can't do both at the same time.
I
Woof.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
that's
is
how it
now.
was back in the day. I'm wondering whether or not that's still going to be an initiative for Microsoft. So that's why I'm still kind of like on the edge about whether or not this is going to be great for the consumer, or if it's going to force people to have to end up buying, more subscriptions just so they can be able to use their Microsoft products at the same time.
Well, I'm not sure how all that works now. Like with the Xbox One, if you had 2 Xbox Ones in the house, one person couldn't be playing and another person couldn't be watching something on the other one. I'm not even sure how.
Using
that
the
works.
same account, you have
Yeah.
to use different accounts, so
Okay.
you have to end up paying for multiple
Then
subscriptions.
I would assume it'd be the same too for your PC and your Xbox.
Well, let's hope not, at least.
Yeah.
So the end of that conversation is, gents, just stick with your PC engine, your imported TurboGrafx 16, and
Just
play.
keep waiting. Just keep waiting.
No, just play your bonk. And what other games were on that system? Whatever.
On the TurboGrafx.
On the PC engine, yeah. There's a couple games that didn't come to America that were on the Japanese.
Oh,
version.
Airzonk and Bonk were the 2 that stuck out for me.
There was like a remastered sort of version of Legendary Axe, which was a sweet
There's-
TurboGrafx 16.
They also had the best version, Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Dude, these are deep cuts. To was it Can You Dig It podcast? This is our version of deep cuts, by the way. These are our.
What was that
these are-
strategy game that took place on the moon and it was turn-based, and it was on the TurboGrafx? I think that was also on the PC.
Someone post that on our Facebook. We'll talk more about that weird system. We'll talk more about all this whole console war. What system do you own? What system are you hopeful for? What games and exclusives make you want to buy said systems? This is the question. These are the questions that we need to know. Join me on PlayStation Network. I am Gross Def with a PH. And what's your gamer tag? And what are you on Steam? When you do play, what's your main gamer tag?
When I'm on Steam, I'm a Sideshow with a Y _82. And otherwise, you can find me on Twitter as _the tip. 2 P's.
When you game, what's the gamer tag?
Gamer tag is the save rings on Steam.
Stave rings on Steam.
Yeah.
All right, find us
So
all.
favory.
Play us in games. There was a quick. Oh my God, we made it under 30 minutes. Yay! This is
Yeah.
End User Disagreements. This has been a production of the Soundcasting Network. Thanks again to Ty's Dele.
With furthermore, lots.
Yeah, and remember, we are End User Disagreements on Instagram also. We are the EUD Podcast on Twitter. Please subscribe to our SoundCloud. Like us on Facebook. Share.
We're also on Google Play.
Find us on Google Play. Find us on
Find
iTunes.
us on Google Play. Instant message us on Facebook with dick pics. It'll be so much fun.
Yeah, Snapchat that shit.
Snapchat us. And once again, thank you to Bobby. Woo!
Yep.
Check him out at Grill. How long, Steak Mister?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right, and thank you kindly. Plur.
Yeah.
That. I'm trying to think of what we talked about so long.
Beats the fuck out of me. I have no
Like, we were doing good on time.
I-
We started off so fast. Our first 5 minutes, we were done with intros.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I looked up and I was like, 22 minutes!